Hi and welcome. We're the Weasley sisters. This is episode 267. I'm Jessica, also known as Naturally Nitty.
And I am Starnitz, also known as Allena. Sorry, that was funny. Um, this today is March 8th. This is our monthly podcast. If you're a first-time watcher, welcome. If you're returning and coming back for more, thank you.
Yes. So grab your chair. No. Yes. Pull up a chair, grab your knitting, and craft along with us. We're a little out of practice, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what happens when you only podcast monthly.
that's okay.
So, planning podcast.
Yes.
It's March. So, all your advanced studies stuff is due.
All of it. Um, yeah.
And your order missions are due before the 21st. So, get them in.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a headmistress challenge. I didn't find that. I know there's
A
a
Quidditch.
Quidditch match coming up, but it doesn't start till the 12th. So I don't think there's any details on that yet. I didn't search too much. I haven't done any Quidditch this term, and I feel not so
I
bad.
will tell you a secret that's not so secret. I almost never do Quidditch. Ever.
That's okay. I always want to, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that'll be coming up. You can look out for that. So we're on to classes. So for ancient runes this month, you need to craft something from your precious yarn or material stash, and or create something that gives you joy. So this is like relative to you. So tell us how the material is precious to you or how the item gives you joy. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted.
That's
So
kind of fun.
that fabric that you're holding on to, you can sew that up.
I am not really holding on to any fabric.
Um, I feel like all my yarn is precious, so
Yeah, you can
I
make
can
it for
probably
anything, right?
spin a tail for anything or spinning. Yes. Anyways,
That's cool. I am drawing a blank on what I would do for that class.
here's
Anyway,
my thing. I have a newt to finish, which is Chloe's sweater, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to do much classes. It's like already the 8th of March, right? Like we only have a couple more weeks. So my focus is going to be newt. So maybe I'll try and spin something fast.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
or something that brings you joy, like that could be like anything. So I don't know. That's kind of wide open, and I like that. I like classes like that.
Yeah.
Makes it simple.
So, yeah. So our next class is arithmancy. This month, craft something in honor of Pi Day. It can be any relation in a relationship to pi, a pie, or the color blue.
As in blueberry pie.
Yeah. So that's cool. Only Ravelry crafts are going to be accepted for this month.
Bummer.
So
That's cool.
pie. That's cool.
3.14, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like all those things.
All right. Moving on. Care of magical creatures. Craft something that would function as a second skin for you, or craft with the color gray. I completely forget what the subject matter on this class was. I read them a couple days ago.
Selkies. I just read it.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes, yes.
I have to quick run. Madison is at the store and Aspen just woke up. I will be right back and I will have a special guest star, but you keep going. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. Only Rav crafts for that class. So I'll move on to charms. Your assignment this month is to craft something that makes you laugh or something that you would include in your ridiculous charm. Non-ravelry crafts will be accepted. I'm not quite sure what I would do for something to make me laugh. I don't know. It had to be something goofy or maybe like loud colors or something that would make you smile or laugh. I never know what my ridiculous charm would be. Anyways, moving on. Herbology. This month, please craft.
So you went really fast if you're on herbology.
I just went through one.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
So
Aspen.
say
He's a
hi.
sleepy boy.
Yeah, he wanted to bring his blanket.
Aw.
I can do herbology then.
Okay.
So this month, please craft something multicolored inspired by the colorful stinkwood tree sap or by the textures of the stinkwood tree bark. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted. So that's like open, all the colors.
I feel like that would be a good spinning one with a colorful braid of roving or something.
Yeah.
You could spin lots of fun things.
Yeah. I'll try to get him in this. He's like
Hi.
kind of happy. He's a happy, wakes up, he cries, but then you
That's
pick him up
good.
and he's happy.
That's good. Yeah, because then you got him and he's all set to go.
Yeah.
All right. Magical tools and instruments. Homework is to craft an item which reminds you of something or someone and tell us how it sparks your memory. Or if you're feeling forgetful, craft something red. Oh, that was like
It was a remember all.
Yes, I remember that. So that's fun. I haven't put much thought into these yet, but that could be a good one.
I was actually, when I was reading that, I was like, maybe I'll craft something thinking of our mom. So I wasn't sure what though.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like this month is already starting to go fast.
It is. Yes, yeah. It is, Aspen. I know. It's already the 8th. It's crazy.
Yeah. So next up is potions. Show us that you have mastered the elixir to induce euphoria by crafting an item that at least is 50% yellow or inspired by a song you would like to sing. Title of the song and the explanation is required. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted. So if you do something with sharks, you could sing the Baby Shark song. Because that induces euphoria like crazy in little kids. And you go a little crazy singing it all the time. Yeah. Or his favorite songs are Perry Grips songs like It's Raining Tacos or
that doesn't surprise me with Madison as his mother.
Yeah. Or the Chicken Nuggets, the dipping sauce song. So yeah. He loves the Perry Grip songs. So we could do one of those. Anyways.
All right. Is it my turn next?
Yeah, go for it.
Transfiguration. Your homework assignment is to craft something inspired by spring's hopeful growth and change, or butterflies, eggs, and birds, seeds, and flowers, which are so much part of this season. So that's kind of open.
Yeah, I'm imagining like a pretty cable. Yeah.
Or
a pretty cable pattern of something. Yeah. I don't know. That's just, or something green.
Yeah. Yeah, but butterfly, eggs, birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. You could do like seed stitch something or another.
Oh, I love seed stitch. Me too. One of my favorites.
I need to make another baby item because another teacher at the kids' school is pregnant. Need to make another thing.
That's fun. So we can go back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Okay. Mojo. What is your mojo?
I finished my order mission. I even handed it in.
Woo!
I know. So for my order mission, I made this Felix sweater, which I love.
Love it.
The increases and the detail there, how it's like the like little leaf type hole things going down. It's on the
Yeah,
back.
that's awesome. I love the color.
I know this. I dyed a couple years ago. It was actually supposed to be a commission spin for a friend of mine on Facebook, but then she ended up not wanting to buy it. So I had spun up a pound of fiber in like a heavier than worsted. This is like a bulky weight. And it's been sitting in my stash forever. And then I was like, I want to make something with it. So I did, and I love it. And this sweater knit up pretty fast because it was on like, I think 8s and 10s, or 10s for the majority of it. And I love the color. I named it Slither On when I dyed it because I made it for Trubin originally. I made him a hat because he loves green, and he always saw this yarn and wanted something out of it, but I was selfish and kept it for myself.
Sometimes you have to be selfish.
And that's okay. So here's the thing though. So then I was doing the order mission that you had to do at least 700 yards of crafting. And this ended up being only 650 some odd 2 or 4, I forget, yards. So I was like, great. Maybe I'll make a hat for Trubin. And then I was like, nope, I'm going to make myself leg warmers. So I made
Those are cool.
Matching leg warmers. And I love wearing them together. It's so much fun. And yeah, so I just cast on, I think like 40 stitches and knit. And then like halfway up, I increased 2 stitches, so like there's a little bit of like extra room for the calf.
I feel like you need to wear it with leggings, put your hair in a ponytail, put on a headband, and run in place.
Well, I mean, I did have it on with leggings. I've worn it twice now. Yesterday I just wore it with jeans, and like I don't care, I'm bringing leg warmers back. It was so much fun and cozy too.
Yeah,
like, it's nice. So yeah, so I handed that in, and I only had like a tiny little ball left.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's so comfy and I love it. And then it like makes me want to make another one. I really like this pattern. It's comfy, and it's a cropped sweater, which I don't normally wear. But I made it so I could wear over the dress that I am wearing. But I like the cut of it. It looks nice, and even I had it on over jeans, not just a dress, yesterday. And it was nice.
Yeah. That's cool.
Not that that's the only thing I wear. Like I had like a thing under it.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm old and not gonna wear cropped whatever. But anyways, it was something new for me and I liked it.
That's cool. So for last time we talked, I was knitting a baby surprise jacket. And I wasn't really finishing it. So I frogged that because the person I was knitting for's baby is 4 months old. And that surprise jacket probably would have been too small by the time I finished it because I just wasn't feeling it. So I recast on with the same yarn, and I made this baby surprise jacket. And let me button it so it doesn't flop all over. But it's like so big now. I can't send it to my friend because her baby would never get to wear it because it's winter time now. Anyways.
Right.
So it fits Aspen. It's a little short in the sleeves. So I probably should have did some math and not just cast on the baby size, if that makes sense, and did the math. But I finished it.
It down. Or it can just be a short sleeved sweater to give him warmth if he has long sleeves under it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. But it was that blue. It's like a gray, a grayish blue and tan with a little bit of like green in there. So
is it that same yarn, that cupcake yarn?
Yeah, and I was holding it doubled, so it was like an Aran weight because it's DK.
Yeah.
And then I ran out at the end. So
course.
You see, sorry, it's hard to hold him and show. So you see this blue on the edge, This
Yeah.
darker blue. I had other yarn that I just substitute for the last like 6 rows. And it
Looks good.
actually matched pretty well. Let me see. I'm going the wrong way.
Sorry.
So it went from like a lighter smoky blue to like a deeper smoky blue. But it turned out, and I sewed buttons on, and I turned it in for class. I used that whole, it was about 1,000 yards, but I only could do half because it was
because you knit it double.
Yeah. So I turned this in for a class because like I was like struggling at knitting that DK weight because it was so small. And then this, which was like a Aran light bulky, it went so fast I knit it in like a week. So
that's
no,
awesome. What needles did you knit that on?
I think 10s.
Okay.
So I think next time I'll just use worsted weight yarn to make a BSJ baby surprise jacket and not worry about the smallness. I don't know. Anyways, that
so
is
you
something.
Make your friend a baby sweater for?
No, I've given up. I'm a horrible friend. She lives in DC now, so yeah. So I think their winter is almost over. So yeah. But then I joined a Slither Hug, which I can show you a picture. It's over there packaged up. I have to mail it still.
Yeah, okay.
So let me find the picture. Sorry. I joined that, but I didn't turn it in for anything because I finished it around the 1st, but I just didn't turn it in. So it turned out pretty nice.
I always love those blankets.
And freaking I used a whole skein of like
Pound of Love.
Red Heart Super Saver.
Oh, okay.
Like a skein I had for when I was making my stockings that I never finished. And I ran out of the white. Like I used a whole skein up and then some. I ran out of that. So like I'm running out of yarn and I'm running out of yarn. So I used the ball of yarn that I was knitting with on the stockings. I'm like, I'll just buy another skein of white from the store when I knit on these stockings. And I ran out of yarn there. So I was like, what the heck is going on? So then I'm in this like finish things kick, right?
That's good.
So I pulled out Bella's sweater that I was knitting, her wonderful wallaby.
Yes.
And I finished that, which I did not run out of yarn. I have 2 skeins left over.
What yarn did you use for that?
Barocco Vintage, which is like a wool acrylic blend. Okay. So to wash it, you just don't want to dry it. You're not getting down. I finished it. You can see pictures on Ravelry or on
they look
Instagram.
Really nice. Was she like happy?
Yeah. Well, she's been complaining that I don't finish things for her because, yeah. And she told us yesterday that she thinks that Aspen is our favorite. And I was like, yeah, he's our favorite grandchild. And she's like, no, she's your favorite child. I'm like, no, he's our grandchild. I'm like, we don't have favorites because we have 2 kids. And she's like, Madison's your favorite. I'm like, no, she's not. She's an adult. Like, that's why she's treated differently. Like, seriously. Anyways, children problems.
But anyways, something else.
Yeah. So I finished her sweater, and good thing I knit a bigger size than she needed because she grew really tall.
She is tall.
And it fits her really well. So I told her
really nice on her.
Yeah. I told her she had to wear the heck out of it. Good. And she's, I will. And then went back to her phone. So yeah. But those are all my finished items from this.
I actually have a finished item. Items. I wove, and I'm not waiting for our weaving
section.
Yeah. So hi, Aspen. So I made 3 different scarves. The kids' school is having an auction. and I wove them, and then I made them into cowls. So I just
that's cool.
sewed them together and then flipped it inside out and sewed the seam again. So it's like a French seam, so you can't see the raw
Yeah,
edge.
that's cool.
But yeah, so there's another one. There, I made 3 of them, and then I printed out some cute little handmade tags so that they can sell them in their auction. And yeah, hopefully they get some money for it. Because I feel like I can actually contribute a little something by doing that.
Yeah, I
They were
think
fun to
they're
weave.
pretty.
And I used up like the white was leftover stuff from my cabled Elizabeth
Fisherman
Zimmerman
sweater? Yeah.
sweater. And then the other stuff was left over from like another Elizabeth Zimmerman sweater and some other stuff too. Like I just like
That's cool.
and spun off. I know. So then I was like, maybe I should weave some more because they were fun to do and like just throw them up in my Etsy shop or like on Facebook and see if people want to just buy them from there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a thought of mine. But yeah, so I finished those.
Yeah, I really like those. Those turn out nice. Don't chew on that. That's my sheep.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. Okay. So now we can move on to whips.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to go. The only thing I'm working on is Chloe's Wonderful Wallaby. I'm on the sleeves right now. And I saw you post that, and I'm like, they're going to be twins. Like, I didn't realize Bella's was blue. So
yeah,
I have the body all done. Well, not done, but up to the arms and ready to go. So I've been cranking on the sleeves. So I need to do that and finish it by the end of the month. So that's basically the only thing I'm working on. The what was it called? The shawl I was doing, like a mystery knit along. I did like the first clue and a half, and it is now just
sitting there.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I should go and like print out the whole pattern now that like all the clues are out. I just like put it with it so that I can make it sometime. But I'm like, that was so stupid of me. I don't know why I thought I could do that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like it sounds good if you only work on one thing and that's what the thing you work on every day or however it comes out. I don't personally like mystery knit alongs, even though I've done some. So I am on a let's finish all my works in progress or frog them kick. So I pulled out, since I finished Bella's sweater, I am also now working on her socks.
Ooh.
And she is 10 inches, so I have to get to 7 inches and then start the heel because I do the Wendy Johnson's where you increase on the bottom and then you do the toe up gusset thing. It's a Wendy Johnson pattern. Toe up socks with a difference is the name of that actual pattern. So that's what I'm working on. And I also pulled out the vest that I spun yarn for and I'm knitting for Andy. I'm on the front. Sorry, I keep holding it to the wrong side. The back is completely done. So I just have the fronts and then the button bands and stuff. So I was working on those. And I'm also working on a test crochet, which I cannot show you. So, yeah.
Look at you though. I'm proud of you for pulling out whips. That's cool.
So, but I already turned into tension this month, Bella's sweater. So, if I finish them, I just won't turn them in. But I'm like trying to finish stuff because I just want to finish things. And people in my family are asking, where's my sweater? Where's my socks? Where's mine?
I've had that from Trubin now that I'm pulling because I did Lucas's sweater and then I'm doing Chloe's and he's like, when are you starting mine? And I finished my green one. And I'm like, not this month. So he's a little salty about that.
He gets stuff all the time though. Like he got hats and mittens.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So anyways, Aspen's going to be going with his mom in a minute. Anyway, she just walked by. You gotta let go of me.
Bye, Aspen.
Say bye. Oh. There you go. Thank you. Anyway, sorry about that. Those are all my works and progresses though.
Cool. I should pull out. I have another shawl that I'm working on too. It's sitting over here. The Trillion.
Oh yeah.
That I think was pretty far along, but I don't know.
So one reason why I want to finish everything is I was looking at my works in progress, and they're just so long. Like my works in progress, like you see some at the top, but there's a bunch at the bottom that are hibernating. So I'm just trying to like finish all the things right now.
Yeah.
And not cast on new stuff.
That's good of you. I want to cast on all the new things.
I want to, but I'm telling myself I need to finish at least one thing, which I did, yes. But then it like is catching. But before I cast on anything else, I need to finish some stuff.
That's good. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. So I don't have any more. Well, I do. I have a rippled bralette that I should finish, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe I'll do that if I finish this on time. I don't know. I'm sure I'll finish it. I'm not worried about it. I just know it's a lot of plain old stacking it.
Yeah.
No, because you pretty much just did the same thing.
Oh, I know. It took me forever. And then all I had to finish was the hood and then sew all the ends in and do the underarms, which took forever, but I was binge watching stuff, so it doesn't matter.
It works.
Okay. You spin me right round. Did you have any spins last month?
I did, but I think I showed it to you. I did a mashup. It was like a big mashup. I can grab it.
Oh, the sweaters?
No, it wasn't a sweater spin. Not a big mashup. Like a chunky weight mashup. I don't know if did I show this?
If you did, I don't remember. That's pretty.
Maybe not, because we normally we podcast like twice a month. Not normally. We used to, but now we've only been doing it once a month, right?
Yeah, because life has just been a little crazy.
Which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, okay, so I made this last month.
Yeah.
It's some nest fiber that someone on Instagram sent me. She sent me like a big care package a couple months ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. It was really sweet. Her name is Christy. But yeah, so I'd never used nest fiber, but I put 2 braids together and spun it up real chunky. So this is 8 ounces. I think it's like 483 yards. But yeah,
that's cool. That's really pretty.
That's it. It's super soft. I think one was merino and one, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have all the details. Okay. I'm like, it's yarn. But yeah, so there we go. But after finishing this Felix sweater that I just made, I've been eyeing up some fiber to maybe spin up and make another one. So this is all fiber from Knitting Color, and I believe it's all superwash merino. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking of taking them, and there's like this is 2 braids. So like, there's one braid and another braid.
Oh, okay.
And same with this, like this half is one and then that half is another. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to spin it, though. I was thinking of doing a blended spin because that was one of those things with the sample along that we did.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of doing, I don't know, like two different bobbins and spinning 2 braids together, blended, and then plying those together. So it's kind of like all mashy together. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if that'll make it muted and icky or not. I haven't.
Yeah, because those colors, you really want to save those colors, so you don't want it to be too muted.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Or I'll just break it up into tiny little fiber nests and spin them all haphazardly and like fly them all together. So it's just like
Yeah, or you could set them up in a row and do like a fractal with multiple.
Yeah, I've done so many fractal things. That I'm like, not that I'm
Over
like over it, but like I don't know. I'm trying to think of new, and I kind of want it all to be, kind of like the same. Like I don't want huge big stripes, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
I
cool.
don't know. We'll see, but that's a thought. Is what it is. But I haven't started spinning anything. But I'm thinking I might try that for a class, or at least start it for a class. Do you have any?
I don't have it. Well, I started plying that mashup I was spinning over a couple of months. I was spinning it and I started plying it, but I just like with a toddler running around. I see a toddler. He's one. I don't know.
Sure.
It's hard to spin.
Walking, he's toddling. That works.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm plying that. Then I, for class, I actually dyed fiber like we talked about.
Yeah.
And this is some, oh, I forget what breed it is, but it's one of the Shave 'em to Save 'em fibers. And I have like a whole fleece. So I took out a pound and I dyed it in the oven, like you said. And now I just need to process it and then spin it. But I have it all, and it turned out really like, I wanted it to be just like I wanted it to be kind of like, see how it's like light and dark? I used a light blue and then a sapphire blue. And then there's some like natural colors. Oh, it's Tunis, if I remember. It's the Tunis sheep wool. And then I have some of the white, it's some of the natural color. So I figure when I spin it, it'll be kind of like after I card it, it'll be kind of like a dusty color, if that makes sense. A dusty blue when it's all done, said and done. So I did that and I turned it in for Ancient Runes. And then Saturday, I've been wanting to wash fleeces. So Saturday I pulled out my fleeces that I have and I started washing them. So this one is one. That one is a Shetland fleece that I had. And then I got some Hogs Island. All of this is Shave 'em to Save 'em. Hogs Island. It's about 8 ounces to clean. And then I have this fleece here, which is a CVM fleece. And I did half of it. The other half is downstairs waiting to be washed. And I was going to do it today. I think I'll do it today. Because I was like, I want to wash all the fleeces I have and stop having them hanging around. And then I thought I was done. And then I found this fleece that I got at Maryland Sheep and Wool. This one's Tarji. So this one is 7 pounds. So I have to wash that too. But the CVM is so soft. Like I have half of it, like it's all drying right now. Like it's mostly dry, but it's just like, you know how like at the end it's still a little dry. So I use like over the door sweater drying racks and I put the fleece on there to dry because I don't have a fancy like contraption to dry it. So that's what I use. And I have some upstairs and some down here. So they're all drying. So I washed those fleeces all day Saturday. And then Sunday I woke up and just going up the stairs, I was like, oh, my legs are killing me. And my husband was like, why? And I was like, well, I was washing fleece all day. And he's like, well, why does that hurt your legs? I'm like, because I was like bending down and picking up these like huge, I use these big pots that I got from Fairy Tale Knits. Dawn, or Fairy Tale Yarn Company. Dawn she was switching from dyeing in pots to dyeing in those I don't know what they're called, but they're like sheet pans. Yeah.
Hotel
Um,
pan.
so she wanted to get rid of them, and I was like, oh, I'll take some. So she gave me like 4 or 5. And because I use them for washing fleece and or dyeing. So those are probably hold 5 or 6 gallons of water. So I was like lifting that, and you figure it's like 8 pounds a gallon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's heavy.
So lifting that, and I did it in our basement here because our water gets really hot, and I use like the big sink that they have, and I put it in the pot in there and then fill it up, put all my washing stuff in it, and I had like a table that I moved it onto, and then I put it in and let it sit for like 30 to 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and just cleaned them. And then I put them, after I rinsed them, I put them in the washing machine to spin out. So that's why they're drying faster, because they're almost dry now. But it's also been really nice here. So like I think today it's 50. So like I didn't wear a coat this weekend. I wore a sweatshirt. So it's nice. But anyways, okay. That's all I'm doing with the spinning, which I'm really sad that I can't turn in
I know.
processing fleeces for class. And you can't even turn it in for a non-Ravelry craft.
I know, it's sad.
It makes me sad, especially like when you process it from a fleece, like you clean it all and then you dye it. Like you can turn dyeing in, but you can't turn the processing of like carding it and then turning it into Rolags or just having it in a bat. So that makes me sad.
It is what it is. I know. I have like I think 12 bags of alpaca fiber that I need to do something with.
So I
Or llama.
We'll talk about something in random randomness, so I'm not going to talk about it now. So let's move on to binging. Have you been binging anything?
Not crazily. We haven't really watched Flash or Buffy too much here and there. I think the kids saw like iCarly was on Netflix or something, so they've started to watch that again, and I just walk away from that because I don't like it.
I had a whole conversation on, not conversation, but like a text conversation on Facebook about iCarly because one of my friends' kids has been watching it, and she was like, "This is not okay. Like, I hate this show, and it's on repeat." And like, there's one where the kid posts a bad review because Carly wouldn't kiss him or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I have hated that show since it came out. Like, I hate it. I can't stand it at all. But anyways, go on with what you're saying.
So I started listening to some books. I listened through Skinwalker and then Blood Cross by Faith Hunter, which they were pretty good.
Yeah, a different different kind of like vampire Skinwalker thing. I thought that was really cool, actually.
Yeah. So it's like a whole new world to get into. I think there's more of them too, but that's where I stopped. And then like I started listening to Neanderthal Seeks Human by Penny Reed, which is that Knitting in the City books.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So that was interesting. And now I'm switching over to I feel like I have ADD over like books, like I can't like settle on something. But I switched over to Bitten because I hadn't listened to that in a very long time. So I like just started that, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I don't know. I like need to listen to something, but like don't want to have to like super pay attention. I don't know. Like I don't know. My brain is just, I feel like everything, like just life is so crazy. Like I can't even like fully commit to like paying attention to a book or a story. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I totally understand.
Let me get lost in a book. So I'm like, maybe I need to like go back to something that I already know. I don't know. It's just, so yeah, I'm just like hopping around on all things. Or maybe I just haven't found something that I love. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
No, I am the same way because I read those books a while ago, the Skinwalker ones, and I do like Faith Hunter because I read this really cool book that she wrote called something about cats. What was it called? Something, I don't know, but I really liked it, so that's why I checked out those books.
Okay.
The Skinwalker books. Plus, they always recommend it when you read Mercy Time, like when you're on like Goodreads or Audible. They're like, if you like this book, you might like this one. So that's why I read those, and they were good. But it was like it took some getting used to.
Yes.
For me, and I personally would like to see more. So she has a friend named Molly who's a witch. I would like to see more in that
Yeah.
about her and her family. Anyways, yeah. So, but I've been jumping around too because I finished Midnight Texas, that book, and the book was way better than the TV show. But you know, because they have to Hollywood it up to be on TV, if that makes sense. But the book was way better, and I liked it. And then I spent like a couple hours on Audible because I had 2 or 3 credits to use. And I didn't want to use them lightly, even though you can trade them in. I don't know why it took so long to use them. But I took a couple hours because I wanted to start a new series, but I wanted to start a series. While I don't mind, like Bitten is good. And the Knitting in the City one is good, but it's like a kissy book and they're like in their 20s.
I think that's why I was like, meh. And I like kept going.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It turned out, I liked it. But at the same time, I was just kind of like, eh. But I would spend a good amount of time on Audible, and I'm like, if I'm going to spend my credit, I'm not buying any book under $14 because you pay at under $15 because you pay about that much for a credit. So I wanted to get my money's worth, right? Yeah. So I spent a couple hours looking, and I finally ended up with this Wisteria Witches book, which I just started, and reviews said it's like Gilmore Girls. So I was like, I'll pick it up. It'll be a nice, fun read. So I got the Wisteria Witches book, and I just started like a couple of minutes, and then Aspen woke up, and I had to not sew. But I also picked up another book series, but like so, in that series, she's like 32, and she has a 16-year-old daughter, and I was like, while I'm not 32 anymore, I can relate to having a 16-year-old daughter. So I thought I would read that one, and I picked up another one because, but I don't remember what it's called.
Maybe I'll switch to that. Like I don't know.
But I picked it because it was a box set, so I got 3 books for 1 credit.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I picked another book up. It's just I've been looking for like older books. Like I started reading one that was a paranormal woman, but she was like a mob wife, and she was she was in her 40s, but she was all concerned about like I couldn't relate to it. So I returned that one, and I was like, I can't stand this person. Like I couldn't connect with the character at all, and it was annoying. So that was the first Bite Club. I think that's what it's called. So I'm already the first like paragraph is all I listened to of the Wisteria Witches. I already liked it better.
You liked it?
So yeah, it sounded really fun. So we'll see, because I have that on my to listen to list. Yeah. So that's for reading what I've been reading, but I like binge watched all kinds of stuff. I've been binge watching for a while now, Hotel Impossible. I can't tell you why, but I love that show. I mean, I can tell you why, because he like goes in and he's like, this is horrible. You can't have a hotel like this. And then he helps them like fix it up and stuff. I really like it. It's fun. And then I binge watched straight Lost on Hulu. It's on Hulu. So I was like watching so much on Hulu that I told my husband, I'm like, I can't handle these commercials anymore. We're upgrading to the $12 plan because this is ridiculous. So
they are annoying.
Yeah, we now don't have commercials. And it's nice because when I watch things like the next day, because a lot of times I forget things are on live. So like 911 and stuff, which I'll forget to watch tonight. So I'll watch it tomorrow. I can watch it on Hulu without commercials. I don't have to watch it. Anyways, and then I also binge watched the 2 Sentence Horror Stories, which is a funny, it reminds me of an older version do you remember that show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Where the kids started out and they were sitting around a campfire and they would tell like scary stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it reminds me of that, but like an older version, not like adult, more like a young adult version. There's some, and so it's just kind of like weird and not like super scary, but like scary, weird. And so I really like those 2 Sentence Horror Stories, and it's a CW show. So like if you have CW, you can watch it, but I watched it on Hulu or Netflix, one of the two. So yeah, because there wasn't commercials. So I watched it on something without commercials. But that's all, like besides watching 911 and The Watch, which is my new favorite show on the BBC. It's from the Discworld series. So it's pretty cool. By Terry Pratchett. I don't know if you've read any of those books. So yeah. Okay. I'm just blabbing. So we can go to random or randomness. So what I was going to tell you before, I keep forgetting to tell you this, the past 2 podcasts that we've had, I have followed this lady on Instagram. She lives in Portland and has a small fiber mill. And she has a podcast now called Being Youthful podcast. Her post I follow on Instagram is Youthful Fiber Mill. I'm going to pull it up.
Did you share that with me not too long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she started a podcast where she so it's Being Youthful.
Other way.
Oh, sorry.
Other way.
Being Youthful podcast. So it's at Being Youthful with EWE full podcast. And she shows you the process. I mean, the first episode, she walks you through her fiber mill. It's like a 1-person fiber mill. It's amazing. And then she'll show you oh, I was working with this client and we were doing this, and she'll talk about it. And then she'll in her podcast, she'll show you what she's knitting and what she's dyed and weaving and stuff like that. So it's really a lot of fun. She's really nice, but she just talks to you through the process of her fiber mill. And the one time she took you when she was feeding the sheep and the alpacas, it was fun. So if you're looking for a new podcast, I would highly recommend it. She has 6 or 7 of them out. I really enjoy it. I'll link it in our show notes. So that's all randomly. Oh, this weekend was my husband and my anniversary. So we went to Lake Geneva, which is a town about 30 minutes from here. It's like a lake town, obviously. And we stayed at this hotel. It's in an old mansion. And we stayed in the carriage house because it had the jacuzzi suite. But we went out to Sprecker's Bar and Grill, which is a local root beer, soda, and beer company. It's in Milwaukee. And I ordered this drink called Cheap Sunglasses. And it came with a pair of cheap sunglasses in it. It was
funny.
Most summery drink I've ever had. It was fun. So then there's a picture of us in front of it, the mansion. And you can walk around in the downstairs of the mansion. And it's just an old, really cool thing. And it's the Maxwell Mansion. If you want to look it up online, I'll link to it in the show notes. But when we got there, they're if you bring this card, because they have the key lock, they don't have key cards. They have a number code. Okay. So they give you this card for checking in and checking out. And they're if you bring this card to the apothecary, bar, because there's a bar right in there. It was really cool. They're like, you get a free champagne. So we were like, okay, it's our anniversary. We're going to go. So we went. And then he had a special like summertime sangria. So that's what I got to drink. And it was fun. But it was just like so much fun going there. And there were people out on the lake because it's still frozen. It was crazy. It was so pretty. I'm like, we need to come back here again because it looks really cool. And it was just a lot of fun. We just went one night and it was just one day away.
That's nice though, and needed.
It was nice. Yeah. Totally needed. So that's all the randomness in my life. Any randomness in yours?
I do. I actually didn't even write this down on the thing. But I have been really hating my needle storage for knitting needles for a very long time. I actually threw it away. I had one of those binders from Knit Picks. They were like, that big, and it was like thick, but I could never even zip it because I had so many needles shoved in there and they were like being pushed together and stuff. So I ordered
ooh, that's fancy.
It's meant for 4x6 photos organizer.
Really?
But so it's way bigger than the binder I had. But you open it up and then like I have the sizes printed on here. So each little thing has its own wrong way.
That's so awesome.
Things. And then you can open it up. I've seen people do this or had this on Instagram, but like your circular needles fit in there perfectly.
So it's like a 4x6 photo thing.
Yeah. So these are 4x6 photo, like for scrapbookers, I'm assuming.
Hey.
But like they fit like but multiple. Like so I have like I think 4 pairs of size 9s, like, and they all fit in there.
That's funny. Like, you probably needed it and you couldn't find it, so you bought another one. I have like 6 pairs of size 1s, and I can never find my size 8s. So I'm sure I have a bunch of those around somewhere.
Or like so, and then I put my Knit Picks ones in here, so like the tips, in there too. Like
nice.
I don't know where the fit went. Anyways, I totally just lost it. I don't know where it went. Anyways, sorry. I'll have to find it again. But yeah, so and it just goes in there, and then I had one left over because I had like 0 through 15s. Cool. And then I have this for like some of the Knit Picks cords and stuff.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then like I have a ruler / gauge thing that just fits right in the middle. But I love it, and it fits right in my cube systems back here.
Sweet.
Which is way cool. So I was excited about that. And it has a handy little thing.
Yeah, and I am all about organization lately. Like I went to okay, so I said I was done talking about randomness, but I went to the Dollar Tree and they had these like square bins. And I bought like a bunch, and I put some of them on top of our fridge, and I put like the water bottles in them, and then I put the soda stream in there with all the stuff in it, just so it's like organized and up.
Yes.
And then I had one that had our protein containers in it, but I took those out because they're big, and I organized in the cupboard the tea. So I'm all about organization these days, which is probably why I've been trying to finish everything too.
Yeah, it's just I need to like go like this whole things are just messy, like, and organization is key, especially if everything has a place for it to be, like,
right.
But anyways,
so
I got that totally on Amazon, awesome. By the way, and it was like maybe like 30.
So if you could put the link in the show notes, it'll be in our show notes.
I shall do that.
I'm gonna type it in there. So you're on day 56, but you're really not.
Actually,
you're on day.
It's 59 today. We were gonna podcast the other day, but then it didn't happen.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, so I'm still doing the wool and dress challenge. I wear it a lot more as a shirt because I'm not a dress person. But I don't mind it so much as a dress, which is, cool to know. It's been really great as like just a base layer during the winter. Um, and
58
I
you're on, or 60?
59 tomorrow's
Okay.
60. But yeah, so I'm over halfway. And I don't think it's going to be too hot out anytime soon before I am done. I'm going to be going till April 18th, I think is my last day. But yeah, it's been fun and easy and saves a lot on laundry because I wear this a lot with like one of my knit sweaters, and it makes me wear my hand knits and stuff a lot more, which is awesome because I've always wanted to do that more. So I've been liking it. It's good.
That is cool.
But yeah, pretty much not much else is going on. Kids are crazy. Life is crazy, but
Yeah.
Leah started her driver's ed, which is all online right now because that's all that's offered. So she's not actually driving yet, but she's doing the class part of it. So yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will see you guys next month.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And check out our website, the Weasley Sisters Podcast.wordpress.com, and you will see our show notes. Until then, we'll see you next month.
Month.
Bye. Bye.